All right, so I want to talk to you a bit about. I think it's important for a lot of young youth, or not even youth, just black men in general. Stop and search that is targeted towards black people. I'm gonna give. I'll tell you quickly one experience I had. I was in Thornton Heath. I was going to uni. I was getting on a train, and I don't even smoke. I don't drink. Right? Not at all. I'm walking to go to the train. They have they have the dogs there. The dogs barking. They're like, yeah. Are you selling drugs? I'm like, no. They're like, yeah, you must be selling drugs. I'm like, no, I'm not selling drugs. Long story short, bro, they were like, we have to search you. I'm like, I was wearing a hat. They're like, you take off your hat. You know, nearly have me almost like nearly pulling down my child, like searching. This is as I'm like, look, I'm trying to get to university. And I was like, why are you stopping me for? They're like, yeah, we have the powers to do this, just like, you know, if we think it's suspicious or whatever. And I remember feeling so humiliated that I'm on my way to university. It's not smoking or drinking, it's not a necessarily bad thing. I've never done it in my life. And I've not got a criminal record. And I'm going out of my business. I haven't got any weapons, nothing, whatever. And I was still targeted. And at that point, everyone walking around looking at me was like, that's the image that they have of black men. And I found that at that point so destabilizing to my confidence going to uni after that. I was like, what kind of society am I in where there's a judgment on me as a black man, innocent, and you have the right to just stop me and violate me? How do you see it now?
How do I see it? See, for me personally, I watched how a lot of people conduct this whole search and stop and search situation. And for me, if you're going to stop and search anybody on the grounds of their uniform, it's discrimination at the top form. Because you can't say, I'm going to stop somebody because of their uniform. And when I say uniform, I mean our culture dress a certain way. So therefore, the person that might carry a knife is dressed in that so-called uniform. So when they talk about it, it'd be like, this is what they look like. This is the type of person we're dealing with. Yeah. So number one, you're going to come across people with that uniform that does not carry a knife, does not carry nothing. Now, the police officers have already been briefed that the person that looks like this in the same uniform could carry a knife. So automatically, when they come out, they're going to be being aggy because they think he could have a knife. So they're going to ill treat him. They're not going to come to him, oh, hello, mate, how are you? Let me just search you nicely. They're going to be aggressive because they think that you carry a knife. Now, if we went into the business world and I'm a pub owner and I say, look at the door and I say, I don't want those young men in there because of what they're wearing, because of their uniform, because I feel now they're carrying a knife, that would be discrimination. They're not allowed to do that. So why can the police then see somebody dressed a certain way and stop and search them on the back of the uniform they wear? It's like when the police say to us, oh, not all police are the same. What they're basically saying that not all people that wear that same uniform that they wear as policemen are not the same. Take them as individuals. So why are we not taking the youth as individuals? So my other point would be, so when police see somebody that looks like Rolf Harris with a kid walking through the park, yeah, must you go up to him and ask him, can I see the passport of the child? Because that's what you're telling us. You're telling us it's a uniform. You're telling us you're stopping us on the back of the way somebody looks. So therefore, is every person that looks like Rolf Harris could be a possible paedophile? Because then that means we need to have people at the parks asking to see passports of kids' dads and at schools. Because that's what you're telling us. When us young black boys are walking in with our caps backwards and how we want to dress, we could be carrying a knife. So again, it goes back to what I said before. We're an unprotected community. And this is people might think like, oh, he's going. No, this is what we are. We're an unprotected community. Everybody else is protected. Whether you're a paedophile, whether you're a rapist, whether you're gay, whatever. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with gays. I don't want them to attack me, but they're protected. We are an unprotected community. No matter what we do, people will pick at us. They will find negativity because they don't want to understand us. And their way of understanding us is roughing us up, searching us all. But then on the other hand, they'll be telling us that it's not right to discriminate. But you, as a country, are coming on LBC, which I listen to all the time. We've got Piers Morgan and all these men here thinking it's fine. They think it's fine. So basically what you're saying to us, you think it's fine. So if your wife or your daughter walks around with a short miniskirt with high heels in a certain area and a man goes over and he starts grabbing her up and offering her money, is she a prostitute? Should she not be offended? You're saying she shouldn't be offended because she's dressed that way.
That whole upskirt
Yeah, so she looks like a prostitute, so she'll be offended when a man offers her money. That's not the right way to be. So it's the same way as what, because a youth is dressed as a certain culture, which, let's get it right, our culture is the biggest trend-setting culture, period. Yeah, facts. Yeah. So because you're dressed like that, and somebody carries a knife that dresses like that, everybody dressed like that now because of their uniform should be stopped and searched. It's discrimination. It's discrimination at its highest form, and it's just not fair. And it only gets worse from here. It's something that they know what they're doing and they know why they're doing. And again, if you're not understanding our culture, don't expect the general public to understand it, because what you're portraying, talking about these guys in this uniform, how they dress, when a white woman or any woman's walking down the road and they see these bunch of youths, they get defensive straight away. They cross the road, they're scared, so automatically you've got a whole group of people that you're already building up negative energy towards our youth. So when the youth do pass them and they shout at the window to them or they say something to them, the youth feel like they're under attack. So again, we're unprotected from anybody that wants to come up in the street and say stuff to us, but that's because you lot are promoting that people that wear this uniform carry knives.
Well, look, the Sterling thing with Piers Morgan and the media saying that Sterling's got a gun on, he's got a tattoo of a gun on his neck, and it's like, he explained what it meant, and even then, they were still getting onto him, and we all know with Sterling, he's a young guy, he's from Northwest, born in Jamaica. Because
it will never change, bro. It all boils down to the same shit. Like if tomorrow there was a group that come out, a rap group, and it was called Kill Johnny, they'll be like against it. But then a rock band is called Kill Johnny, or Murderers, they're killers, and it'll be perfectly fine. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So we're not playing the racist card, but the actions are so clear to us. So that's why we need to protect our community ourselves. So why are we still fighting against each other, and we're still tearing down our own business guys, and because we're unprotected. The only people that can protect us is ourselves, because we're not getting protected by anyone else. And I'm not saying protect ourselves with knives or guns. I'm saying coming together and infrastructure, strength, having our own shops, our own, you know what I mean? Just unity amongst ourselves here. They know if we come together, we'll be unstoppable, and that's why they create all these so-called images in other people's head, because how can we be like the most trend-setting culture, with so much negativity about our culture, but we're still leading. People still want to dress like us. They still want to dress like us. So they have to do things to try and slow down the culture, just like they do negativity to slow down Islam. It's all media, it's all propaganda, and it's been running like this for years. But before, it was like kind of they control the media, they control the papers, but now it's just outrageous. We're just getting attacked by the way we dress now. Basically, we're saying, like, if you dress like this, you're going to be stopped and searched. But then on another hand, if we still wasn't dressed like that and we dress another way, we still get stopped anyway and searched. It's an excuse. So I just think that's being said, it's discrimination at its highest form, and they know it is, and it's some form of racism.
Now, mental health. I'll put it to you like this. I feel like, I won't say I suffer from anxiety, but I feel like if you're an entrepreneur, the anxiety,
100%,
and it can't be explained. So I'm not even going to give it a big lead up, but. One, do you feel like you suffer from, or you're susceptible to anxiety, and if so, what forms? And then the next question is, do you feel like your mental health, depression, I don't know, because you've been through a lot in life, bro. So even having you standing with what you've achieved, but your mental must have been affected along that journey, potentially.
I've seen, a lot deaths and stuff from young. And I feel like now more I get the question, like people say to me, like, bro, but is your mental cool? Because people are attacking you mentally now. Do you know what I mean? And before I'd probably say, did I suffer with depression? Did I suffer with anxiety 3 years ago? Now I look at it now, yeah. Do I get depressed? Yeah. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Just because of how life is, and probably sometimes it's how much you want something with anxiety. But at the same time, I do believe that everybody has mental health. It's just what triggers it. Now, if you're looking at what triggers it 10 years ago, 20 years ago, it would be lower mental health. But now you look at mental health is at an all-time high. But the reason why it's at an all-time high, my personally humble opinion, is because social media. Because before, you'd look at your window and you'd be like, I John, she went and got a new car across the road, and it'll make her feel away. So they would try and get the car. But now you're waking up and everybody's got a new car. And then, you know, you see a girl with a big bum. Am I good enough? Do I feel better? Am I underachieving? So before, there's only certain things that could trigger it off. But now when you wake up in the morning, you go into social media, there's anything could trigger it off. So you're triggering off things in people's brains, and you're playing with people's emotions, yeah, more than they're usually played with. And this makes them feel not worthy, not worth nothing. It's not worth living, what their next step is, because it's playing with your head. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And it takes a strong person to fight against it. Because my whole thing is, I feel like social media is the new cancer, the new AIDS, the new... And I'm not saying it in any way different. I'm just saying it's affecting everything. I think it's a newest virus. I think social media is one of the biggest viruses that we've got today, and it's killing more people than I believe cancer is. And that's without me even doing my research. Because it plays with your emotions so strong. It plays with your emotion more than drugs. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, it plays with your emotions. It brings you all over the place. As I said before, like, you can wake up in the morning. It depends what mood you are. You're going to take your social media. So your mindset. You wake up in the morning, you're feeling happy. I'm going to reach all my goals today. I'm going to reach all my goals today. Why is people always snaking me? You're in a bad environment. That's how you start feeling, yeah, he's a snake. You start not trusting people, start getting paranoid. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So I really feel like knowing that you're depressed is a hard thing, to know that you're depressed. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Anxiety also. And when you have both of them, it's very hard to get your head around, and you do go in a dark place. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And as I said, I've been through so much stuff, so I've experienced it. Do you know what I mean? I've been in the darkest of places. I've been in the lowest, felt the lowest. I felt life ain't worth living. I've felt like my friends are dead. I should be dead. Or, do you know what I mean? I've been in some horrible places myself, and it takes as a man to speak up about it and say, yeah, you know what? I've been through it, but speak about it, because at the end of the day, yeah, you're showing people that you're better than it, and you beat it, you overcome it. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But I don't think these people that cyberbully and talk all this shit, they don't realize what they're doing to somebody's mental health. You have to be thick-skinned out there right now, because back in the day, like, you couldn't get to certain people. Now they can wake up in the morning, don't like you, and tell you, I don't like you, you know. Do you know what I mean? So I definitely feel that mental health is on a rise, and I think the reason why it's on a rise, because I think it's because of the social media, and I think everybody's got mental health. It is what triggers it. So I think, again, you have to protect your mental state. You have to protect it. You have to say to yourself, like, you know what? I don't like the way that's making me feel. I need to do less of that, because you can get addicted to it. Like, sometimes I'll be sitting down and I realize I've been on my phone for 1 hour, bro. I haven't done nothing. Do you get what I'm trying to say? I'm like, yeah, and I'm sitting down, I ain't got the TV on. I'm saying that 1 hour was so valuable to me, and now I've wasted my time. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Because I could have been doing something. And I'm looking at people, I don't even give a shit about their life. We wouldn't even speak on the road, but I'm watching these people's lifestyle and watching these people, what they're doing. Why am I taking this type of intake? Why am I reading a book instead? Why am I taking something that can give me more knowledge or help me in any way? But instead, I'm watching what other people has got, watched her, how happy her relationship looks on a thing, that man's married, that thing, and you start making yourself feel like, are you worthless? And I think that's why mental health is at an all-time high. And I think that if you do go through it, talk to somebody, man, because mental health isn't something also that when someone says, oh, he wants to commit suicide, for instance, yeah, that's not a weak person. You don't decide that you want to commit suicide. It's voices telling you you're committing suicide. This is what people don't understand. It's not something that you wake up, just want to do it. Something's telling you to do it. Something in your head is playing with your mind. Like, something's talking to you.
Like, make you feel like you don't have another option.
You don't have another option. You don't just do it. Like, if you were stable thinking, you wouldn't do it. Obviously, you wouldn't do it. But there's something inside you. So when people think that, look at that as weak, but no, because if you overcome that, you're strong. And you need to tell other people so they know how you feel. Because I've had loads of friends that's jumped in front of a train, and this guy would have been the most funniest person in the room. You would never believe that he has issues. Another man hanged himself. You would never think this guy would hang himself. But you don't know what other people's demons are and what they're fighting every day. Just because somebody smiles and somebody's loud, you don't know what their low point is. Because when someone's so loud, what is their low point like? Do you get what I'm trying to say? So I think mental health is a very serious situation out there at the moment. And I think that we have to be careful of how we treat people, even though, like, people might be like, oh, how do you treat people? How? But I'm growing as a person, so I'm learning these things. That's why I can talk about it now, because now I understand it and I understand myself. And I think that every day, all you can do is try and be a better person.
So finally, I want to say that I mean, you did touch on it about the anxiety thing. Is I think anxiety, there's always business anxiety.
Of course.
Because you put so much of yourself within the success of the business sometimes. And I think that can make someone anxious, like, yo, we down today. Like, yes, it's good to be happy, but when you have business...
When you have businesses, bro, to be honest, you rarely go through a happy moment. Yeah. That's the truth, because at the end of the day, you're always worried about your next wages. Like, okay, everybody's a boss, but before I get paid, if you're the real boss, then you get paid last. Yeah. And you made it, sometimes you take it on at the end of the month. Exactly. It's going to be less, but you have to make sure. So you have that anxiety. Like, I remember when it used to be paydays and it's coming up, I used to have anxiety. Like, even though I know I could pay him, it's just like, shit. And then you get to another stage when you don't know in life if you're doing enough. And then you're worried about, whoa, if I don't do well here, I got to go back there. Shit, I don't want to go back there. And then it could just be the fact that, you know what, you got to pay your bills. Your missus is on you to pay the bills. You're waiting for something. It should. There's many things, bro, that anxiety comes into play that people don't understand it. But if you understand what anxiety is, then you can kind of think, all right, look, let me just chill for a minute. Let me just think about it, take a breather, and work it out. But for people, it is as well. For somebody with drive and ambition, anxiety is always going to be there, bro. So it's not a bad thing. If you feel like that you've got that, that's just because you want more.
Bro, I'm definitely gonna stop it there, because, bro, the amount of gems and jewels and everything you drop, man. I just want to say it again. Like, thank you for even having a conversation, because this is Clint. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely, bro. Man.
This is what it is, and I think people need to understand that we all a work in progress, man.
We're all, man.
We're going from, like, I love Bashi's song Black Boys. Remember that everyone was like 1920 Black Boys when they were black men.
And what are you saying it?
Yeah,
strength in numbers like PDC and All Star. Yeah. Bashi was saying it then.
And we're fathers now, so it's like,
we're fathers, man.
People need to just let us grow, let us grow, let us evolve. Let's be grandfathers. Just let us grow. Let us live, man.
Let's grow and let's grow and let's learn from each other. Let's guide each other. Let's talk to each other more. Like, let's try and help each other. It don't always mean money. It just means time. Do you know what I mean? Let's try and show, like, if we want respect from these other people, let's give each other respect first, because that's why they're not respecting us, because we're killing each other and we're doing madnesses that just look crazy to other cultures. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So why are they respecting you and you don't respect your own? Right. Do you get what I'm trying to say? It's like, we were as a Black Lives Matter, but what other people be looking at as laughing, like, does it really though? Because you just killed, the black guy just killed him the other day, and now he's marching about it and he raps about it. I'm not saying that, I'm just saying from the outside of you, how they perceive it. Yeah. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So let's just try and just build, man. Let's just try and just build as much as we can, and love me, or like, you can hate all you want or whatever you want to say about me, but you're gonna have to respect me for my ambition, because that's what I am. I'm just a boy with big dreams, and I'm trying to get there.
We play to win.
Play to win, bro.
My G, C1. Thank you for this, my brother.
No doubt, bro, man. Keep doing what you're doing.